Hey, Drew, you want to talk a little bit
Yeah,
about Cloud Office today?
let's do that.
All right, cool.
Definitely.
So, hey, you might have noticed that we have sitting right next to us George Rodriguez from the Cloud Office team here at Rackspace, and we brought him in to talk to us a little bit today about Cloud Office. Yeah, so George, thank you very much for joining us.
Anytime, anytime. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we're definitely glad to have you. Appreciate you jumping in on a rather fast timeline here. But let's why don't you introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been a Racker, what got you here to Rackspace, and what you do
Yeah,
here at Rackspace.
definitely. So I've been at Rackspace for just hit 2 years.
Uh-huh.
I started off in the Cloud Office department, did that for a while, and then the opening for Google Apps presented itself and jumped at that opportunity. So some of the things I did before this was I was a trainer for a nationwide corporation, but now here I'm a Google certified administrator and a Google certified deployment specialist for
Great.
this program.
Great, that's good. Yeah, and so you actually mentioned that you're a part of the Cloud Office team.
Correct.
A lot of our viewers might not know Cloud Office. It used to be called Email and Apps, right? So that's how it started off. Rackspace has been doing email for just about as long as Rackspace has been around. But we've recently switched over to calling it Cloud Office because it has a couple of different components to it now,
Correct.
not just the email component, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so we have the email component, obviously, and then there's collaboration and also backup. And we'll talk about all of those here in a little bit more depth. But we're definitely going to focus on one of our newest products that's not quite even in general availability yet, and that's Google Apps for Work. And I'm really excited about that.
I am too.
Yep. Well, great. Anybody that's out there watching us live, we would love to have you participate in the conversation. If you're watching live, you can go ahead and ask us a question directly via the Google Plus application. There's a question and answer app. Type in your question, your comment, and we'll go ahead and address it on the air. And then if you're watching us on Twitter or on YouTube, you can go ahead and drop that comment into Twitter or YouTube, and we'll be able to go ahead and stream that into the air there. So, all right, well, let's get it started, and let's talk about all three of these components that we've identified here at with Cloud Office, right? So we have email, collaboration, and backup. Let's start with backup, right? So that's one of the things that we think is very important. Drew, I know that you and I have talked quite a bit about backup in general, but when we're talking Cloud Office, we're talking about one thing, and that's JungleDisk, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So JungleDisk is a company that we purchased a while ago, and it's not necessarily to back up cloud servers, which is generally the way that we would talk about backing up.
But it can and it does.
Yeah, so it's actually for desktops. It can back up servers, like Drew mentioned, but it's mostly desktops, corporate workgroups, things like that work really well in that regard. So that's fun. I know that you're not a part of that team, but what do you see customers that might want to use cloud backup or excuse me, JungleDisk
for?
Yeah,
And it's exactly that. Just file sharing, file storage, a secure place to have their files stored in one place. Not worrying have to worry about any security risk and things like that. And then you can always just give the files to who you'd like and restrict the permissions later on if you need to down the road. So it's pretty useful.
Yeah, and it enables you to, kind of seamlessly forget about the backup for a while, right? And it just runs in the background, but then you can also mount it. And I know I was actually a JungleDisk user before I became a Rackspace employee, and we used it, closing in on 10 years ago now, but it was a great product then, and it's a great product now. I know that we're putting a lot more energy into updating the product, too.
Right,
well.
definitely.
So
that's why we have that designated team.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it broke out from just the main aspect of Cloud Office, and now it's broken out into more. Yeah.
Well, I would jump in there and say it's one of those, I guess there's a smaller number of options to back up a Linux machine to the cloud, and that's something that we've worked hard to get to the point where we can offer. And so it doesn't matter if you're running a Windows machine, a Mac machine, or a Linux box machine, you can back all of those up to the cloud, and then JungleDisk for server is also available. So lots of options, and anytime that you can do that storage outside of your local environment, and then just add another layer to that redundancy that you're looking for. And we don't want to dump the database to the same drive and call that good because you get a corrupted drive. Sorry. So it's definitely a useful tool and has the features that really differentiate it. So encryption, etc.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you own that, you encrypt it, and it's all yours. Well, I think that JungleDisk is definitely one of the cool tools. Again, it's one of the first ways that I knew about Rackspace was with JungleDisk. But the other one of the other legs that we were talking about here is collaboration, and I think here we have even more products to talk about. SharePoint, hosted SharePoint's been one that we've had around for a while. It allows you, we actually take care of the infrastructure and the actual maintenance of the SharePoint environment, but then let you, collaborate on top of that. We provide the service layer for it.
Right.
Yeah, we see a lot of customers that that work in their predominantly Microsoft environments do that, but SharePoint's come a long way, and it's now able to be used all across. Even some people on Linux are using it now. So good stuff there with SharePoint. Yeah, Drew, any notes you've seen on using SharePoint here?
I think we've got some of the most experienced support people. We acquired SharePoint 911 a year or two back, and those guys are incredibly well versed in how to get the most out of SharePoint. And so beyond just being able to host the infrastructure and kind of keep that stuff in line, keep it patched, up to date, secure, etc. We also have resources when it comes to getting the full value out of it, and that's really a place where Rackspace differentiates itself across the board, not just within SharePoint or Cloud Office. It's as a company, we're approaching all of our products with how to get the most out of your environment. So you can reach out to us and help, ask for help, and we can oftentimes deliver specific outcomes that you're looking for that you could dig around forever and probably get to that point on your own. But why do all that when you could just call in and ask and get somebody who's got the expertise and can jump in and help?
Yeah, and that's really what Rackspace is known for, is that fanatical support, and then it's about being able to help you answer those questions that you have and run the infrastructure for you, run the the back end for you, so that you can really be successful in your work. So that's the backup component. That's the collaboration component. I guess that third component.
Whoa! Lync.
Oh, Lync! How do we forget? That's the missing link. Sorry, everybody.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So
we offer Lync, which is a collaborative software that allows you to communicate with the rest of your team. It's a message type tooling, and it integrates really well with some of our other email components, especially like that shows here, Microsoft Exchange. They integrate really nicely, and they can help a team, especially with the increasing likelihood that you're working at least a little bit from home or remotely. A remote workforce really needs collaborative tools where they can communicate like Lync allows. And so it's just one of the offerings that are out there, but it's one that we offer in another hosted way, so that we're maintaining the infrastructure, maintaining the way it's deployed and its up-to-dateness, but providing the functionality with the expertise behind it.
Yeah, and also we're not just selling this. We're also dogfooding our own solution here. I mean, we use Lync here at work internally, and it's working out pretty well actually. It's a nice tool, and it integrates well with our with our email, with our Exchange email, and it's a really good product, and it's working out really well for us. Yeah.
I find that it's interesting. As an organization grows, those needs grow, and as your needs grow, and you bring in more tools, the complexity grows. Now, and it becomes really helpful to have a partner that you can offload a little bit of that complexity to, let them work a little bit on the architecture and putting together a solution that meets those growing needs. And we've seen as our organization grows, there's more meetings, there's more meeting rooms, there's more on everybody's calendars and schedules. And when you start combining these different tools, you can use Exchange to look over somebody else's calendar, but with Lync, you can actually see in real time. Like, I'm not going to bother that person. It looks like they're in a meeting, and you start layering these features on top of each other, and needs you didn't necessarily know you had start being solved by the tool set. And so we're going to get into some of these other tools and functions that come out of it, but I think it's really helpful to see the delivery of a solution grow to cover more needs that customers have, and more of a one-stop shop where you're not patchworking everything together.
Yeah, that's definitely what we want to do, and I think that kind of leads us into why we brought George on today, and that's talking a little bit more about the Google Apps for Work offering. We mentioned that we have all of these different components that we offer in this Cloud Office name, and one of those one of those is backup, one of those is a collaboration, and then finally the third aspect is the email, right? So and everybody knows email. We've got the IMAP email. We've had that for a long time. We've had hosted Exchange email for a long time as well. But now we're also able to offer Google Apps for Work for that email. Also, the collaboration that goes with Docs and Drive, the backup that goes along with Drive as well. So let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, what do we offer as far as Google Apps for Work?
Yeah, definitely. So the Google Apps for Work offering, it's exactly that. It's the Google Apps for Work product with our support on top of it, right? So that entails everything that Google Apps for Work has. Some of the things are mail, which you talked about. We also have the Drive aspect, which is that online storage, and you can share amongst your organization. We also have contacts, sites, which is similar like a SharePoint type thing. Yeah. Another thing that we also bring on with this is migrations, right? So migrations are included with our offering as well. So we will get all your stuff, your data that you have, and bring it on over with us.
That's great, and that's not just from a Rackspace email account or an Exchange account over to Google Apps. I mean, that's regardless of where you're hosted right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you are a current Google Apps for Work customer, you can even come on over.
Yeah, and we provide that support layer. And Tyler, our producer, was just showing the page that says "You collaborate, we support." And that's what we're here to do, right?
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Great. So what are some of our customers doing with Google Apps? And why are they choosing to come to Rackspace to support that? What's the main use case there?
The main use case is they love the collaboration feature that Google offers, but they love our support at the same time. So these are the customers, the ones that we have currently that are really invested into Rackspace and what we do here. So we do have a large base of customers that appreciate our services. So we listened to them and decided, let's make this an offering to our customers. Now it's not GA yet. We're in a preview offering right now. For more information, you can go to that website that the producer had up, Google Apps for Work, or googleapps.rackspace.com.
Great.
And we do go GA this month, actually.
GA, you mean general availability?
General availability, yes.
For everybody. Well, that's great, and I'm really excited for that. I mean, I know that the Google Apps product is great. It's great, and our support is even better. And I think that once you combine them together, you just have a really wonderful offering that'll help a lot of people.
Definitely. Yeah, we've already had some use cases of customers that went from Google Direct to Google Apps for Work with Rackspace because they just love the support so much better. They tell us some of the stories that they've had as far as trying to get help. So it's been great so far.
Well, that's always good to hear. So what are some of the things that you're able to help them with? You mentioned the migration part. What else would you do in your day-to-day working with our customers that are some new?
That's a good question. Yeah. There's so much you could do with Google Apps for Work. So some of the things that we do is try to give proactive support, right? So one of the things that we came up with is a designated YouTube channel to where administrators can pass along to their end users to show them how to do little things that they may not have time to show themselves. Some of the other things is just making sure that we're on top of all the features that are coming out with Google, because there are updates constantly, and we want to make sure that we're aware of those and how it's going to tailor our customers and affect their businesses.
Great. Let's see. Looks like we got a question there. Can you address that?
It says that they do not speak English.
But we do. So we speak Spanish, right, and English, and we have bilingual, sometimes even trilingual rackers that are able to help out as well. So while we're all talking in English here, our support teams are multilingual, and we can help you out in any of the languages that are there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You fala português? Sí.
See?
No Portuguese? No?
Yeah.
We have some
Absolutely.
Portuguese speakers, Spanish speakers, and then who knows what else can be spoken in our support teams. So I don't feel like that needs to be a limitation. Rackspace does need to be removed from the conversation.
Yeah.
Because, the website we showed this time happened to be in English.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also actually just opened up a Mexico City office as well. So it's we have, let's see, we've got I don't know how many countries do we have represented now on as far as Rackspace's
You can't put me on the spot like
yeah,
that.
so
We're all over the globe.
we're all over it.
European offices. We have a couple of offices in the Pacific, and so we're covering quite a bit of the globe.
Yeah, so we're truly a global company. So so we can help out just about anybody in any language. So great, George. Thanks for sharing a little bit about how we've been kind of helping some customers and helping some customers. Which aspects of the actual Google Apps offering do we have? Is it limited at all, or is it every aspect of the Google Apps platform is available to our customers?
Gotcha. So the Google Apps that we're offering is the same as Google Apps directly with our premium, of course. Which we're still trying to figure out where the business is best suited, for that price. So we do have the two platforms right now. It's the $10 for the 30 gigs. And unlimited, which is the $15, which is unlimited storage with a vault as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the vault? I'm not.
Good question.
Yeah.
So the vault is pretty much kind of like a backup of your email. You can go in and do like cases and searches for email for litigation purposes and things like that.
Oh, it's like if you have a retention,
Exactly.
Any type of compliance retention policies, you might
Correct.
need that. That's great. I think it's a newer feature of Google Apps. I've used it before at a previous company, and I don't know that was available at that time. So that's good to hear. Good to hear. Great. All right. Cool. So
What kind of things do you guys typically deliver as far as customer assistance? Is it mainly migration services? Is it helping customers set up access to their new users' tools? What kind of use cases are our customers bringing us?
Very good question. So the bulk of it is the beginning, because it is going to be something that's transitioned that not a lot of customers are probably accustomed to doing everything on the cloud, which is what Google Apps for Work is. So we take the migration portion of it, and as far as the support that goes on top of that, some of the things that we do to help transition the customers' users is we'll even do something like this, a Google Hangout on Air with the whole organization, and discuss all the new features that they may not be accustomed to. We've had certain things like set up CRMs, faxes, printers, cell phones, the typical stuff that any organization might have.
It sounds like it's taking a lot of the load off of the local administrator for the company, and really taking your expertise. I mean, you're working day to day with Google. I wish we could show your laptop there with the keys. You've got the hotkeys mapped on your laptop keyboard there. Showing that. I mean, like you know this. You live this every day. I know that you guys are. We mentioned dogfooding before. I mean, you guys are using Google Apps for your internal email, and I mean, it's definitely something that you guys live and breathe. So you're able to kind of help that, have that expertise. And I really love the fact that you're being proactive and making these videos as the new features come out to kind of show.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good stuff.
Well, there's a support desk function at lots and lots of offices, for all sorts of organizations, and those support desk people hit up all the time. I mean, there's that is such a clear, characterized role that the BBC did a wonderful thing with the IT crowd and showed us what a day in life might particularly look like. But all of that training that goes into any new hire coming on, any new feature set coming out, that's a lot of work on individuals in an organization. And if you don't have a formalized help desk type group, service desk type group, then it just defaults to the more technical people at the office have to take time out of their technical roles to go and walk through this stuff with your employees. And a lot of times those are not cheap employees, and so put them into a position where they're spending a lot of the time that you're paying them for to set up, an email client on a mobile phone. That may not be the best way of spending their time, but spending a little bit of additional money on a relationship with an organization that takes that load off means you're able to purpose those employees fully towards the goals of your business. And you'll see a trend if you watch any of these hangouts that we've done or continue to watch in the future. Hold on, because this is a trend you're going to hear over and over. Mm-hmm. We are trying to enable our customers to have a fuller focus on what makes their business unique and take some of these things off their plate. We can deliver that migration service that would otherwise tie up your resources for a long period of time. We are able to take on that educational component so that your employees can come to us for that instead of taking your valuable employees' time, multiple of your employees' valuable time to take care of things like how do I access my email, how do I set up this filter, how do I make sure it gets forwarded to this phone, all of that stuff that people need to function, but you get that guy who gets a reputation for being the one who knows how to set up your phone, who also happens to be your database administrator. That's an expensive way of using that resource. Right. So it's really in line with what we see as our value in the ecosystem, and it's a huge value. So thank you guys for being a part of delivering that, but I think it really bears repeating. Understanding where the value is here and understanding what it means to go it alone. It means taking your brightest tech minds and setting them on relatively menial tasks potentially. We are happy to take the learning of what it's going to require on ourselves and then perfect that so we can share it really, really effectively.
Absolutely. Absolutely, that's it's really letting us shine where we can shine and letting you shine where where your organization shines. So it works out well, and it's like you mentioned, a better use of everybody's time and energy. So exactly. It's good stuff. So George, out of all of the different Google apps that are out there, which one's your favorite? You don't have to say Hangouts. It's okay, but you do.
No, he does.
Yeah.
And you can say his second favorite.
Yeah.
So Hangouts is by far one of the coolest ones, right? I do love using it. We use it to communicate with each other in the office and within our team and things like that. Just everything, really. And it's kind of cool. As far as Drive's concerned, just to be able to, load up a document here on my computer, and then let's say I have to go to a meeting or something like that, and I need that document, I can pull up the drive from my phone. It has the same document that I had saved. I don't have to send it anywhere and things like that. So,
great.
So that's a cool feature. And then the collaboration, we use it a lot on our team. So like I'll create like let's say a migration document on things that do need to be presented for that process. And then I'll share it with my colleague Paul, and him and I will be editing it at the same time, and it's live, so I can see all the changes that he's been making. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. And then you add the Rackspace support level on top of that to get you migrated over, to get you set up, to keep you up to date on what's changing. I mean, that's really good. Do you know if any of our customers are using Chromebooks exclusively? I mean, I think that this would be a perfect opportunity for a brand new company that might not want to invest a significant amount of money in their infrastructure and in their the capital to create some, to buy laptops and things like that. I mean, Chromebooks, Chromeboxes, things like that would be, I think, ideal for this because you would just use that Google Apps for Work account to log in. You'd be able to log in instantly, and from an IT management perspective, if you can just nuke one of those at a distance, cut off all access if you need to let somebody go, and then just getting somebody set up is as simple as saying, hey, here's your address, change your password, you're good to go.
Yeah, and as far as the customer base that we have now, we don't have that just yet, but I can see customers in the future having that set up, because you can have Chrome management policies set up through the dashboard to where all they can do is pull up their work address, and that's it. They'll get restricted for everything else.
Great.
So it'll be like strictly just the work computer. So,
that's good.
And your CapEx is cut way, way back, and then your control goes substantially up as an organization, and that becomes a huge thing, especially someone who's trying to bootstrap something along or is just in a tight financial position as they grow, trying to pour as much as they can into that growth and that business. It really starts making a lot of sense with the firepower you can get on a mobile device, and then the functionality that's offered in something like a Chromebook makes that a huge opportunity. So I'm excited to see companies who are rolling out or in those positions start using that set of tools, because it's always seemed like it had a lot of potential, but there hasn't been the type of uptake that I would have expected early on. And as the cloud becomes more and more powerful and ubiquitous, it seems like only a matter of time, and having support around a lot of the components on the Google side really makes a lot more sense today than it ever has. And the domino's going to tip at some point, so it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff there. You know what I'd like to see, George? I'll just take a little bit of commentary here. So you are supporting users that are using Google Apps, and I noticed that on your team, which is kind of outside of the norm for most of the rest of Rackspace, everybody seems to be an Android user, using the Android products and really getting into that ecosystem. So I think it's really good. You're sporting a Moto 360 as I am. It's a little bit late, but if you do have a Android Wear device, go ahead and turn it off before you start this podcast, because mine's just been, every time I say the G word, it starts to listen to what I'm saying. So just a little late warning there on that one, but we'll put up a warning at the beginning, I guess. But yeah, it's you guys are really into this, really trying to understand what's going on with the environment, and trying to understand how everything fits together. And I think that because of that, you're able to provide an even higher level of support than you might otherwise be able to.
Yeah,
so
we've just been before we went just in preview mode, we immersed ourselves into the Google project, to make sure that we understood it, as part of our fanaticism, to be able to give that information to our customers in a fanatical way. And yeah, so we all got Androids. This was given to me, to start playing with, just all the Google features. We're just experimenting with them and making sure that we're up to par on our knowledge for that. And like I said, we got certified Google administrators and Google certified deployment specialists.
That's great.
So,
yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it right, and it looks like you guys have really jumped in and done that. Again, I mean, you talked earlier about your commitment to creating collateral that you can use, creating materials that you can use to share with customers as new features roll out. With email and apps, or with any type of email really. Any office collaboration, it's going to be a little bit different than what Drew and I normally talk about with a server environment, because you usually have one person, maybe a team of people that's working on a server environment. But you have people coming on and rolling off of teams, off of projects all the time, and just getting somebody set up the first time around doesn't account for the person that joins the day after the migration is complete. So, really going that extra mile and getting that ready to go. What are some of the tools that you use to help people, that are brand new to the company? Maybe the company's had Google Apps for a while, but now it's a new person. What do you have out there for that new person?
Oh, for the new person, You know, we have that YouTube channel. A lot of people have been checking out the videos.
Great.
They're not the best videos, but I'm working it up there. And as far as the content that's covered, you know, we're still trying to come up with more things that we need to deliver out there. But just being there for the admin just in general, you know, and if they need to bring on the end user on the phone, definitely we can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely take care of them when we need to.
Well, that's good. That's good. I think we covered just about everything that we can for the Cloud Office side of things. Just real quick, you know, to get to know you as a racker a little bit more, and just, you know, outside of that, we like to ask our guests a couple of different questions, and I thought we'd go ahead and shoot one your way. One that we really like to hear, and I think this helps us get to know people a little better, is if you had the opportunity to give a TED talk, right? You know, TED, the Technology Entertainment Design Talks, on any subject in the world, not necessarily related to technology at all. What would that be? What would you want to talk about?
I have never thought about that. As far as, I don't know. That's a very good question. I'm really big on space and you know, astrology and things like that. So maybe present what I know on it.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Which isn't a lot, but still, you know, do that. But yeah, I think that would be it. You know. Okay. Maybe teach them how to play piano.
Oh, you play piano?
Yeah, I play piano.
Oh,
and
nice.
I've been teaching my kids to play and stuff.
Ah, great.
That, so.
Great. What's your favorite song to play?
Oh, I like all the classical stuff. You know, just like you're supposed to. Growing up, you know, my daughter is the one that wants to learn all the pop songs on piano, so that keeps me challenged.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. We got a lot of talented musicians here at Rackspace.
Yeah, that we do.
So,
all right, a DJ on our team.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Paul's a DJ.
That's great. That's great. Well, all right. Well, I think we'll probably wrap it up there. I just saw your laptop die on us there for not being plugged in. So we'll let you get back to a power outlet and get back to work taking care of our customers. But we definitely appreciate you taking a couple minutes out of your day to chat with us. Yeah, that's Tyler found a picture of you playing the piano there. So that's a great picture of you that he found. But no, thank you again very much for.
You do wear a red shirt though.
Oh yeah, it's the wrong shirt. Yeah. But no, it was great, and I think I learned a little bit more about Cloud Office and Google Apps specifically. So I really appreciate that. If somebody wants to check out Google Apps here,
it's about to cover that.
Again, yeah. What is it? Go ahead.
So the Google Apps is you know, like I said, we're still in the preview phase, and we're going GA general audience in April 22nd of this month. But for more information on what we're offering right now, you can go to googleapps.rackspace.com. You can start a chat from there. You can call our phone number there for more information if there's something else that you want to talk about that we haven't discussed here.
Yeah, and they'll get to talk to you or one of the other people on the team. There's just a handful of you right now, but it's growing all the time. And as we get more customers on, so yeah, great, really smart team. So good stuff there.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, Drew, you got any parting thoughts before we head out?
I have no thoughts.
Drew has no thoughts. All right. Well, again, come check it out so that George and his team can help you run your infrastructure for your email and everything while you collaborate better at what you do. So, all right. On that note, I guess we'll say thanks again, and we'll see everybody next week.
Bye, guys. Thanks.